Good morning, everybody. This morning, I want to try something a little bit different, and I want to try and show you or model an example of some writing with you today using the computers. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. So, hopefully, now you can all still see me and you can see my screen where there's a Word document where I'm going to do some writing for you today to show you and talk you through the writing process that I would go through if I was doing your learning today, which is retelling the middle of the story. Now, the first thing I would recommend you do is go back and read the middle of the story. I've attached it to the blog post so it's fresh in your mind. Now, we're retelling the middle of a story. We're not copying it out of the book. So we've got our key points to follow when we're writing, but we can add details and we can change things slightly and add extra information and change some of the words that are used as long as we follow the plan of the story. So on the blog, I've put this next 6 points, which you all use to do your fantastic storyboards on Friday. So in the middle of a story, our first section is that Mama and May herd the animals into the barns. We learn that May lost her brother and father to Nian last springtime when he came to the village. So I'm going to start writing this up now in some more detail, and I'm going to start writing it up as it is the story. So, quickly and without a sound, remembering to use a capital for the names of my characters, Mama and May herded the animals to the safety of the barns. They knew from experience that they had to be quick. On the end, and eat everything in his path! Exclamation mark. You can see I need to go and correct a spelling back there. So I'm going to read my first sentence. Quickly and without a sound, Mama and May herded the animals to the safety of the barns. They knew from experience that they had to be quick, or Nian would eat everything in his path. Last year, Mama and May learnt this for themselves. During springtime, they had lost their father and brother to the jaws of Nian. So I'm going to read this again, and I might edit and I might improve a little bit as I go. So the point I was trying to make, our first point, was that Mama and May took the animals into the barn. I also needed to get across in my retelling that May lost her brother and father to Nian last springtime when he came to the village. I think I've got both those points across, but I might just do a little bit of editing now. If you're able to, you could even type your retelling up today. If somebody could show you how to do that, that would be fantastic, because then you can read and reflect back and edit as you go. I'm going to edit, so quickly without a sound, Mama and May herded farm animals to the safety of the wooden barn. So I'm adding some adjectives first. That's a really easy way to improve my writing. They knew from experience that they had to be quick. Or Nian would. I'm going to change eat to devour. It's a more powerful verb and it adds impact to my story, my retelling. Last year, Mama and May learnt this for themselves. During springtime, May had lost her father and brother to the terrible jaws of Nian. I think I've improved that a little bit now. I've got some punctuation in there. I've explained what's happened and I've added details from myself without copying from the story. Now I need to move on to the next point in our story. So point 8, May figures out that Nian does not like noise. Her and the other villagers banged pots and clanged pans. Nian appeared. Now I remember in the story, May stands strong, and we hear that she can hear Nian's tummy rumbling, and she can smell his terrible rotten breath and his long greasy tongue. She can see those things. So I know that she can see him at this point in the story. So Nian appeared. May froze. I'm going to use some short sentences because this is quite an exciting part in the story. Nian appeared. May froze. Hear the rumbles in his tummy like thunder. She could see his long, slimy tongue tucked into his terrible, tooth-lined jaws. Suddenly, she had an idea. She picked up the magical cane from the warrior and banged it as hard as she could on a pan. The noise was loud and travelled well. Nian covered his scaly ears with his claws. Oh, I've spelled ears wrong. Go back. Ears. With his razor sharp claws before fleeing back to his mountain, to his cave under the sea. Full stop. Now again, I've written, so I'm going to read it back to myself and check. Nian appeared. May froze. She could hear the rumbles in his tummy like thunder. She could see his long, slimy tongue tucked into his terrible tooth-lined jaws. I've used some alliteration there in that sentence. I've repeated my initial T sound to make it interesting to listen to. Suddenly, she had an idea. She picked up the magical can, I need to edit that, magical cane from the warrior and banged it as hard as she could on a pan. The noise was loud and travelled well. Nian covered his scaly ears with his razor-sharp claws before fleeing back to his cave under the sea. Before fleeing in terror, I'm going to add, back to his cave under the sea. Now, those are just the opening ideas for the middle of my story, but this is the kind of details that you can add when you're doing your writing today and your retelling. I'm going to ask to see a picture of this work today because I think you'll be able to do a fantastic job, and I would love to see what you do and I'll give you some feedback on your writing. So if you ask Mummy or Daddy once you finish this piece to send it to me, I can give you some feedback just as if we were in class. So good luck today, and I can't wait to see how we get on. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.